Thank you for watching NTD Business. Coming up tonight, Elon Musk finally completes his deal with Twitter. What's ahead for the social media company? We have analysis. Wages in America rose quickly in the most recent quarter. Will this hurt the Fed's effort to fight inflation? We speak to multiple economists. And Amazon stock falls to a 2-year low after a weak forecast for the holidays. How much has Wall Street lost because of it? That and much more coming up on NTD Business. Great to have you with us. Don Ma here. Elon Musk now owns Twitter. He tweeted, "The bird is freed," after completing the $44 billion acquisition. Twitter will be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange on November 8th. Musk began the ownership with immediate firings of top executives. He fired Twitter's chief executive officer, chief financial officer, and legal affairs and policy chief. He says he'll be digging into alleged shadow banning on the platform from today. Here's Wedbush analyst Dan Ives.
So the easy part was buying Twitter. The hard part's going to be fixing it. Now, how does he change the platform? Freedom of speech. Does he let Trump back on? What the headcount cuts look like? These are some of the questions that Musk ultimately will answer over the coming weeks.
Musk's plans for Twitter are ambitious, to say the least. He said yesterday that he wants Twitter to be the most respected advertising platform in the world. Musk says Twitter will create a content moderation panel made up of widely diverse people. Nobody will be unbanned before then. Musk said previously he would reverse Twitter's ban on former President Donald Trump. And Trump today said he was happy Twitter was in, quote, sane hands. Though he did say today that he will stay on his own social media platform, Truth Social. Meanwhile, Kanye West's Twitter profile, which was suspended for posting controversial remarks, appeared to be back on the platform. Musk said Twitter did it before he took over. It seems Musk won't be able to change Twitter without fundamental changes at the company. Text messages involving Musk suggest he's considering mass layoffs. And today, CNBC reported an entire team of data engineers were let go.
This is going to be very difficult. Culturally, Musk and Twitter, exact opposites. And I think it's going to take time here. He's going to fire a lot of people. Yeah, I think there's a start of much broader layoffs at Twitter. It could be 30 to 50%. We've seen as high as 75, and that's extreme. But there's going to be significant headcount cuts ahead.
And Musk's free speech makeover plans don't have everyone excited, it seems. The European Commission reiterated today that Twitter still has to abide by EU rules. And now joining us live to talk about Musk and Twitter is Jason Miller. He's the CEO of the fastest growing social media platform, Getter. Now, Jason, Musk has said he wants to restore free speech on Twitter. Tell me, what obstacles is he facing?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Great to be back with you. I think there's a fundamental thing that everybody needs to pay attention to, and that's the fact that Elon Musk has just spent the last 6 months absolutely trashing Twitter, whether it be the algorithms, whether it be the bots, whether it be the hellscape, so to speak, of the negativity that occurs on the platform. So I think Elon Musk would rather be anywhere in the country right now other than San Francisco dealing with Twitter. He wanted out of the deal. He's being stuck in the deal. I also think that when it comes to a litmus test on actually implementing some of these free speech changes, it's great that, again, for free speech, I'm not condoning his comments, that he went and took action with Kanye West. But what about President Donald Trump? And why does President Trump have to go to some sort of external review committee before he's let back in? This sounds very Zuckerberg, very Facebook to me.
And I know you're a competitor to Twitter. You're not just saying these things because of this, right?
Well, obviously, Getter was launched in large part because Twitter has been exercising political discrimination to pick winners and losers in the free speech marketplace. And I think that for someone who supports free speech, of course, I want to see Elon Musk go and bring about some aspect of sanity to Twitter, even if it's a marketplace opponent. I think Twitter's challenge, and where Getter has really found their opening and where we've been able to advance, is that we've realized that content is king. The innovation is absolutely paramount to anything else that you're doing. We've added features, we've added new users. We're at 6.5 million, over 100% growth this calendar year. Twitter's never innovated. Twitter's still stuck at effectively the same platform that they've been for the last 16 years. And so when it comes to free speech, I applaud anything that starts moving in the right direction. Let's make sure that some of those changes are actually happening, though.
Anything you see Musk capable of doing to turn this around?
Well, ultimately, I don't think that Twitter can be saved. I think that, first of all, it's boring. It's just no longer an exciting platform. As I said, they've failed to innovate. There's just not much content there. But also the business model is very upside down. Now, Musk is obviously overpaying for it. He admitted that at the $54 a share, the $45 billion. So he's taking it private. But Musk has said that they will need to quadruple the number of daily active users to get to the profitability point that he wants to be. That's why Musk was out there saying, oh, we need to get President Obama, Justin Bieber back, try to get those daily active users up. They're not going to grow by 1.5x, let alone 4x, if they're not actually making changes and they're not innovating. But there's, the one other thing that I'd be very concerned about, though, is I have a real issue with Twitter, which is effectively the digital town square. When we talk about the global town square, being in the hands of someone where there are a lot of issues about what his ties are to China and how much pressure he is under, especially having the Tesla plant in Shanghai. And also we saw his recent comments about, well, maybe Taiwan just needs to roll over and play dead for the CCP. I have an issue with that.
I want to talk about another point that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned content. Now, and this goes hand in hand with moderation. How do you have free speech on a social media platform? Let me give you an example. If I call a biological male who identifies as a female, I call this person a he. The person might not agree with this pronoun. They might call it verbal abuse. And abuse is not protected by the First Amendment, right? So how would you balance that?
Well, obviously, in each situation, you need to look at the context, the way that it's delivered. What we try to use as our North Star is making sure that someone's political viewpoint is never infringed upon. Of course, we have rules in place to make sure that illegal content is not allowed, to make sure that threatening commentary or things that would get you in trouble in real life are not allowed. We also don't we don't allow you to use racial or religious epithets. But when it comes to a basic fact of saying someone who was born a man is a man, or someone who's born a woman is a woman, that's very much your political belief, and we do not believe that that is some sort of abuse towards someone just because they happen to now pick another pronoun or they've had a surgery of something of that sort.
And on the point of disinformation, Musk said today that Twitter will be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints. Now, if I present studies that show the climate crisis is fake, or maybe it's real, would that be moderated? How would you tackle that?
Great question. So everything ultimately is moderated or looked at through the lens of whether it's the API, the AI on the front end, or whether it's on the back end with moderators. So everything and everyone who posts ultimately gets at least goes through an AI filter at one point. But when it comes to your political position, which again, on say the climate change, whether you want to say that it's real or it's not real, or you have different perspectives on global warming, that's your political viewpoint. That is not something that's threatening. That is not something that's misinformation. That's your political viewpoint. Now, if you came out and said something such as the election has been moved, the midterms are now actually going to be Monday, November 7th. That's different, because that's something that could interfere with someone's voting rights, and that would be something that we would take action on. Right. But if your opinion, whether it be on pronouns or climate change, things of that nature, that's your political opinion. Right. And look, there's no rule that says you have to necessarily be polite on social media. Not everybody discusses those issues, but let's separate out political opinions from threatening behavior.
All right, thank you very much, Jason Miller, CEO of Getter. Pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.